In just a few short seconds, you are actually walking the line between life and death. Even if you don't realize it, inside your body, countless activities are happening every moment, and they never stop. Think of it this way. You are like a ring sliding down an escalator. The act of sliding down is like your cells constantly dividing, and the escalator is like the laws of physics pushing you forward. Life feels like walking endlessly without ever reaching the end. When you reach the bottom of the escalator, you can't go any further, and that means the end of life. Here's the scary part. The universe itself seems to be pushing us toward that end. So how do we avoid that fate? How do we keep living? All life is built on cells. Unlike cold, lifeless matter in the universe, cells are capable of moving on their own. But when a cell reaches its limit, it eventually breaks apart and returns to the universe. Unfortunately, the universe doesn't seem to favor life sticking around. The universe doesn't care if the world is exciting. It prefers for everything to become flat and boring over time. This tendency is called entropy, one of the fundamental laws of the universe. It's a bit complex to explain and not easy to grasp. For now, just know this. Living things are truly astonishing. Every single cell, made up of millions of proteins, water molecules, and more, every second is carrying out thousands of divisions and other activities. Being alive means cells must constantly fight against entropy to avoid death. To stay alive, cells need to maintain a certain independence from the universe. One way they do this is by keeping a difference in molecules inside versus outside the cell and expelling unwanted molecules. To do all of this, cells need energy. Energy allows matter in the universe to work, move, and change, creating new phenomena. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. The total amount of energy in the universe is always constant. We don't know why, but that's how it is. Hundreds of millions of years ago, the biggest challenge for early cells was how to get usable energy. These cells obtained chemical energy through simple chemical reactions. Beyond that, we don't know much about them. They found the ultimate energy conversion system, the building block of life. A molecule called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP for short. The structure of this molecule makes it very easy to take in and release energy. When a cell needs energy, for example to expel certain molecules or repair itself, it breaks down ATP and uses the chemical energy to do the work or cause changes. That's why living things can respond to the outside world. We still don't know when or where the first ATP on Earth was produced, but all living things rely on ATP or something similar to keep their internal functions active. It's essential for all plants, fungi, bacteria, and animals. Without ATP, life wouldn't exist on Earth, and likely not anywhere in the universe either. Even though breaking down ATP for chemical energy is very useful, the earliest life forms didn't use solar energy. The sun releases photons through nuclear fusion, spreading energy across the solar system. But this energy is raw. It can't be absorbed directly. It has to be transformed before use. After tens of thousands of years of evolution, finally, some cells figured out how to use solar energy. They absorbed sunlight and converted it into chemical energy to survive. We call this process photosynthesis. By using photons carrying electromagnetic energy to rearrange molecules, it turns electromagnetic energy into chemical energy, storing it in ATP molecules. Some cells started making glucose or other sugars. These sugars are easy to break down and pack more energy, and they also taste pretty good. This process was so convenient that many cells gave up the complicated work of photosynthesis and instead simply consumed other cells to get the nutrients they needed. Many believe this was the greatest betrayal in evolutionary history. As evolution continued, the cells that could photosynthesize could only collect energy from their surface, so their total energy output was limited, which held back their potential to evolve. Over time, some cells began producing sugar, while others focused on eating that sugar. For millions of years, their evolution nearly stalled. Until one day, one cell swallowed another, but didn't destroy it. This act eventually led to the two cells merging into one, and fundamentally changed the future of Earth. This new cell became the common ancestor of all animals on Earth, from blue whales, chameleons, dinosaurs, jellyfish, and coelacanth to you and me. All of us can be traced back to that moment. The fusion of those two cells was critical because the merged cell was much more powerful. The once parasitic cell no longer just tried to survive, but focused entirely on producing ATP. It became the cell's internal power plant, the mitochondria. The host cell focused on staying alive and providing the mitochondria with essential nutrients. The way mitochondria work is essentially the reverse of photosynthesis. It's extremely complex. It combines sugar, oxygen, and precursor molecules from other cells to produce energy-rich ATP molecules. This process is like a furnace, releasing carbon dioxide and water, and also giving off some kinetic energy, which is your body heat. This division of labor meant the new cell could access an unprecedented source of energy, which opened the door to evolve and form even more complex cells. At some point, these cells banded together to form colonies, and eventually evolved into multicellular organisms, which is what you are today. Now you are made of trillions of cells. Inside each cell are countless tiny energy-generating machines. If that energy production stops for even a few minutes, you could die. It makes you wonder, if life is so fragile, why don't we store some ATP as backup? Just like we can store sugar and fat, which helps us survive, even without breathing for short periods. If life has already overcome so many obstacles to keep us alive, then why is life still so short? Simple organisms like E. coli, each time they divide, can produce 50 times their own mass in ATP. Your body needs a huge amount of ATP just to stay alive. In fact, every day, your body produces up to 9 times 10 to the 26th power ATP molecules. That's about the same as your body weight. To produce that much ATP just to stay alive for one day. So, storing even a few minutes worth of ATP isn't possible. ATP can convert energy very quickly, but it's hard to store because it has only 1% of the energy density of glucose, and it's also 3 times heavier than glucose. So ATP is produced and used up very fast. This is a simplified version of life. It makes you the ring on the escalator. It's a strange story. You need these molecules to survive. No ATP means death, and you have to make them yourself. It's like driving a car at full speed while having to pick up roadside trash and turn it into gasoline. All we know is, it all started trillions of years ago in a small quiet part of the universe. Something emerged that could sustain and develop itself like a never-ending ring from the first cell to now. To you watching this video, at some point in your life, you will once again become one with that silent universe. Maybe then you'll get to tell it about your adventures. But until that moment comes, you can appreciate the beauty of life and make that silent universe a little less quiet.